Hi, second graders. Mrs. Ishams here. I am going to teach you 15.2. This is a video for 15.2. We're going to be learning about inches. Woohoo! All right, let's get started. All right, words to know. Say it. Words to know. Inch.
Inch.
Eraser.
Eraser.
Pine cone.
Pine cone.
Ruler.
Ruler.
Awesome.
You can measure the length and height of an object in inches.
So we can measure length and height in inches.
Start from the left side of the ruler.
So we're always going to start with the left side of the ruler. It starts at 0.
An inch is a standard unit of measure.
So this is a standard unit of measure. Yesterday we worked on a unit of paper clips. Now we don't really say, oh, my tree is 30 paper clips long. That's silly. But you could say it is 30 inches long. So we are going to learn about inches, the standard unit of measure.
1 inch is the same length on every inch ruler.
So 1 inch is the same length on every ruler. So if you have an inch, it's always going to be the same length. If you look at a tape measure or a ruler, or if you have one of those flexible tape measures too, it will always be the same.
Look at where the eraser ends on the ruler.
So we put an eraser here. We lined it up to the 0 here. 0, where does it end on the ruler?
Between which inch measurements is it?
So let's look. Is it quite to the 2 yet? No. But is it close to the 1? No.
It is between 1 and 2 inches.
So it's in between 1 and 2 inches.
To measure to the nearest inch, look for the halfway mark.
So here in the middle, see how there's a long line and a long line and a long line where the numbers are? In the middle, there's another a little bit longer line, but not as long as an inch. That is the halfway mark. So that's a half of an inch here. So let's see what it says next.
Is the eraser longer or shorter than the halfway mark?
So here's the halfway mark. Is it longer or shorter than the halfway mark? It's longer.
The eraser is longer than the halfway mark. If the object is longer than the halfway mark, use the greater number.
So if it's longer than the halfway mark, we're going to use the greater number. So is the eraser about 1 inch or about 2 inches? 2 inches, because it's longer than the halfway mark. Oh.
Is the eraser closer to 1 or 2 inches?
We should all know this. 2 inches!
It is closer to 2 inches. 2 is the greater number. The eraser is about 2 inches long.
It's about 2 inches long.
You can measure height the same way that you measure length. To measure the height of an object, turn the ruler and start from the bottom side of the ruler.
So we just turn it and we start at the bottom. We don't start way up here at 2. That'd be silly. We start at 0.
Look at where the pine cone ends on the ruler.
So I'm going to take it, usually, well, it's right here. So here's 1 and here's 2 and the halfway mark's right here. Is it about 1 inch or 2 inches?
Between which 2 measurements is it?
It's in between 1 and 2.
It is between 1 and 2 inches. Is the pine cone longer or shorter than the halfway mark?
So here is the halfway mark. Is the pine cone longer or shorter? Tell me.
pine cone is shorter than the halfway mark.
Shorter than the halfway mark.
If the object is shorter than halfway, use the lesser number.
So if it's shorter, it's about 1. So we're going to use a lesser number. So it's about 1 inch, not about 2 inches.
To the nearest inch, about how long is the pine cone?
We just said it, 1 inch.
It is about 1 inch long. 1 is the lesser number.
1 is the lesser number.
You have learned how to measure the length and height of an object in inches.
Okay, let's move on to our magazine. Now, you should have got a ruler in your packet. Now, if you lost it, oh man, I hope you didn't. But I will teach you a little trick. Did you know if you put 2 of your fingers together, that is about 1 inch? About. No, I'm not saying it's exact. It's about 1 inch. So, if you have lost your ruler, you are more than welcome to use your 2 fingers to make about. Or look at this. This is pretty darn close. Here's my ruler here. Maybe not. Mrs. Aisha. It's about the same length. So you could use this too if you lost your ruler. I sure hope you didn't, but you may use that for your fingers. This is what I want you to do. Now normally, Mrs. Isham or your teacher usually does this together. This is more of a discovery. I want you to go around your house, your yard, wherever, with permission from your parents. Please don't get me in trouble. And find 2 items that are about 1 inch, 2 items that are about 6 inches, and 2 items that are about 12 inches. Now, I'm not saying it has to be exactly 1 inch and exactly 6 inches or 12 inches. I want you to do about. Do the best you can get to the closest to 1 inch, 6 inches, and 12 inches. Now, use your halfway mark, okay? Once you find those items, I want you just to write them down. Got it? Okay. Once you have that done, then we can go on to the inside. Now, you need to estimate the height of a juice box, pencil case, and book bag. Ooh. Now, estimate means guess. You're going to guess the items, and then you're going to measure it. Height, up and down, length, side to side. Right? Now, if you don't have a juice box, could you find something else? Maybe you could measure a milk jug or anything, a pop can, whatever you have at home. If you do not have that, I want you to find something else. Same with a pencil case. If you don't have a pencil case, maybe use your crayons, a book. Just find something in that place, but make sure you estimate, guess, and then you measure. You should have your book bag. Same with these. If you don't have a paintbrush, just find something else to find the length of. Okay, maybe it's your pencil, maybe it's a crayon, right? Then you estimate or guess, then you measure. Same, you should all have a cup at home. I want you to estimate it, the height in inches, and then measure. And if you don't have a crayon box, you could do something else. Just pick something else in that place. Do we understand? And then I think that's about it. Now, remember, this is about, we're not doing exactly. It just needs to be before the halfway mark or after the halfway mark is about. Got it? All right, well, I hope you guys have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions, or your teacher know. If you have any questions, we would love to help. We miss you like crazy, and I hope you all are doing great. I hope we get to see you soon. All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.